The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
Okay, we're going to your calls. John, Sean, David, Truth Patriot, Eddie, Henry, Colonel 6, and others here in a moment. The toll-free number to join us is 888-201-2244. But I want to finish up with Rand Paul. So, Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning, he wins by 33 points above the establishment Republican. And everywhere. You're an establishment Democrat in the primary, you lose. You're an establishment Democrat in Hawaii, you lose to a Republican. The same thing just happened in Utah. It just happened in Colorado yesterday. Everywhere, every incumbent and every person Obama has campaigned for has lost by double digits. Double-digit losses. I've studied political science. I've studied all the major races going back over 200 years. I'm obsessed with it, folks. And let me just give you the news flash. This has never happened. People always blame one party or the other. But now, remember those polls the last 2 years showing 11%, 9% approval ratings for Congress, both parties? People finally have figured out both parties are bought and paid for by the same interest. And that's what Zbigniew Brzezinski said last week. The article is, Brzezinski decries global political awakening during CFR speech, a global political awakening to global government. No longer are the people only looking at our puppets. They are now looking at our global control system. This is the greatest crisis we have ever faced as a power elite. Go watch the video. We can't just continue denying it doesn't exist. Our big neocon talk show hosts have done well for us, stalling the conservatives, but no longer does it work. Even the great Limbaugh will not be able to cover up much longer, comrades. I mean, you know, these guys are in trouble, okay? That's why you tune into Limbaugh or into Savage or Hannity. It's sounding more and more like the Alex Jones Show, because they'll be passé if they don't cover the reality when you've got hundreds of world leaders announcing a global government run by private banks. And then Rand Paul does the unpardonable sin of coming out and saying carbon tax is a way to shut down America and it's communist. And, you know, he declares war on the New World Order. And so they come after him with both barrels screaming racist. They think it's the one attack angle they've got left. Folks, tens of thousands. Go to Google, type in Rand Paul. Over 10,000 articles in Google News in the last 3 days demonizing him. MSNBC has done 24-hour news cycles foaming at the mouth like he is Frankenstein come to kill us and we better get our pitchforks. He's never talked about the Civil Rights Act. He said on record he supports it, but that he thinks it's gone too far letting women in men's locker rooms was the original article they pulled up. You've heard about where these women demand to be in the NFL locker rooms, demand to go in with their microphones while people are in there, and then they file suit if they can? That's what he's talking about. On the Disabilities Act, he said, what if it's a small business only making $20,000 a year? And somebody owns that themselves, and they can't put in a wheelchair ramp or a $100,000 elevator to the second floor. Oh, he wants to take everything away from people in wheelchairs. He's not even, those aren't even his issues. He was asked as a libertarian what he thought of it. And like a religion, oh, I guess I better let the bankers rob me. I guess we better let Washington do what it wants. God forbid. He could be a racist. It's this religion. But they've exposed themselves. You say you're against government health care. Slimeball Matthews, Carlos Watson, all of them say, it's racist. These are Klan rallies. They don't like black people. They don't want the government running health care. They're racist. That's all they've got. And what did I tell Salon? Well, I'm in Mother Jones, Salon, Washington Post. They've all talking about me and Rand Paul. Conspiracist Alex Jones, Rand Paul is awesome. And I went on to say, if you're an establishment Republican or Democrat, you are gone come November, Jones said. This is Wednesday, right before they launched their attack. The good news is that people are coming in from both parties who have much better track records and don't have these establishment pedigrees. He also warned the media against smearing Paul. The mainstream media doesn't understand. They are out of bullets. When the mainstream media wants to hurt Rand Paul, they should come out and endorse him. When the establishment attacks someone, it only empowers them. Yeah, I'm afraid he was only about 17 points ahead of his Democratic challenger in polls that came out Wednesday. A new one came out today. I'm afraid he's over 22%. I'm afraid the attack's actually backfiring. See, it doesn't work anymore, criminal media. When you lie about people, they don't trust you anymore, okay? And you're going to be caught in your hoax, as you always are. But let's finish up with the Rand Paul. What has got them so upset in his victory speech when he declared war on the New World Order? Here's the second part of that. No straight talking out of him. You're not going to lead any American revolution against tyranny. We're going to come out and we're going to paint a Hitler mustache on you, pal. Here it is.
The Tea Party movement is about saving the country from a mountain of debt that is devouring our country and I think could lead to chaos. We now have a president, though, who apologizes for America's greatness. We have a president who went to Copenhagen and appeared with Robert Mugabe, Hugo Chavez, and others, Evo Morales, to apologize for the Industrial Revolution. They say, these dictators, these petty dictators say that to stop climate change, it's about ending capitalism. They are explicit. And the president, by attending Copenhagen, gives credibility and credence to these folks, and he should not go.
And CNN panics and cuts away. They showed the entirety of the other victory speeches, and boy, they cut away right there. Oh my gosh, don't talk about that. But here's the deal. It's very simple. The ultra-rich have got their money. They control the issuance of currency and credit. They had their little rope ladder down to the cloud 9 of wealth and power. They're up there in Valhalla. They're up there, enjoying themselves, and they've just pulled the rope ladder up, just like this is Donkey Kong, where we don't get to climb, you understand? And so they're pulling the ladder up, taking it away from us. That's what the carbon taxes are. That's what all this control is. They brag. It's a post-industrial world for you and your family. How did NAFTA and GATT turn out for you? How'd all these wars turn out for you? I told you 8.5 years ago the Patriot Act was written for the American people. Now it's admitted it's for you. You're the enemy, regardless of what color you are. And it's so asinine. Dr. Rand Paul is against abortion. Do you hear the mainline black leaders funded out there calling for an end to abortion? Boy, if I was black, I sure would be. I mean, if you've got any racial identity. But see, if you don't have any identity as a human being or for your culture, because the media tells you that's bad, so what if 51 to 52% of black people since 1973 were never born? That's right. More than half the black people that were going to be born in this country, they don't exist. They're deader than a hammer. And guess what? Rand Paul doesn't want to kill you. But you know who the real racists are? They're the Margaret Sanger liberals that curl up around you like a snake. Or like Rumpelstiltskin in the new Shrek movie. Took my kids to that. Just reminded me of politicians. In fact, try to YouTube Rumpelstiltskin's Shrek trailer. I want to just, when we come back, show a short clip of how he talks real sweet. Hi, I want to help you. And that's Margaret Sanger and the Rockefeller documents I've sent off to universities. I've got the actual copies of their letters. How do we kill these subhuman weeds? I just want to get rid of them as soon as I can. This is in the 20s. We'll pose as liberals. That's how we'll get them so they'll trust us, and we'll hire blacks as our fronts, and we're going to kill them. It's going to be so good. It's so liberal. Meanwhile, you got some doctor going, we shouldn't abort all the babies. Shut up, racist! The truth is, they're like, if people get in like this guy, we won't be able to kill the black people. We're only able to kill half of them right now. We want to kill more of them. What are we going to do if these patriot Christian conservatives get in? They're going to stop murdering all the babies. Ah! You ought to go read Margaret Sanger. These subhuman weeds, how do we exterminate them? Well, John D. Rockefeller, I had a good meeting with him last week. He says we'll pose as liberals, and we'll have a total movement where we lead the blacks. That way they trust us so we can exterminate them. Exterminate you. Murder you, because it's so liberal. Murder you. But meanwhile, Rand Paul says you can have a private club.